Would you like to validate the phone numbers that your ManyChat subscribers are giving you so that you can actually contact them? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to show you that now.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
All right, let's get rocking and rolling. And finally going to get this phone number verification video out to you guys. So I searched and looked for phone verification APIs, found a couple of them that will do the trick. And though one of them, the one I'm going to show you all the, I guess, programming around it or integrating with ManyChat, only does US and Canada phone numbers right here. It does not do international. Now, there is another API that you can do international. And if you need a little bit of help, you can just post them down in the comments. I'd be happy to help you out. It's called, this one is NumVerify, where this other one is, let's see, Validito.com, right here. That's the one we're going to work with today. This NumVerify, it does foreign numbers. As you can see, it actually supports 232 countries, which is pretty cool. The only thing is, and we're going to go to my dashboard, and we're going to go to subscription plan. And I did sign up for the free plan, as you can see here. But the free plan does not have an HTTP URL. It's just HTTPS, sorry. It does not have an HTTPS URL in the free plan. It's only HTTP. Well, that does not work with the external request action in ManyChat. So you have to purchase plan, and I wasn't going to purchase a plan just in the use of a video. So what I'm going to say is I used it, well, I played around with it. I wasn't able to use ManyChat with the free plan. You can see that I got 2%. I've ran a few of them, more on this the dashboard and then from an API that obviously I don't have the requirement of having to have an HTTPS URL. So you can look at that one. If you have, if you want to look at that one and you're working on it, you have some questions, just let me know. It looked pretty straightforward as far as the documentation on it. You got to get a key. You do requests. It's pretty straightforward, what I can see. As far as the response, you're going to get a response very similar to the other one. It doesn't have a real formatted one. There's a little difference. But what you're going to get is you're going to get some information about the phone number. So take a look at it. This is the one we're going to work with today. And it's Validito, I guess, .com, whatever it is. And let's see, phone verification. So what you want to do is you want to go and sign up for this. And you got to have a free plan. Where are we going here? Store. I guess the store. Oh, you can buy, I guess you can buy package of lookups. I just signed up for the free plan. It looks like there is no phone Okay, I don't have a log to do. We're just gonna go back to the API. So we're gonna integrate with this one. And like I said, just sign up, go to the website, sign up, and you got to get a API key. These are the URLs that we're going to use. And I think that's it. and you need to get this UID and authorize. Please enter valid information. These are just examples here that you're going to send. And then you sample output JSON. And this is what we're going to get back. So most of the time you're going to get a status. It's either going to be valid or failed. And failed has a bunch of different error messages. Basically, you could do that. You could map out as we're going through. You can map out the error message, but I just basically it's going to be a invalid phone number that you're going to tell the subscriber. But when you get a valid one, you can see that you get here's a phone number, here's a national formatted phone number, so it's all formatted with all the stuff. Let's see, there was another one too. Guess not. Though, yeah, right here. 1, 2, I think there was 3 that I'm getting back, and it tells you where it's coming from and stuff. So let's get into this. We're going to go into the flow. Now, the one thing is with this API, they want 10 digits with the API itself. Now, this other one we were talking about, doesn't. It'll strip the stuff off. For whatever reason, the one that we're going to work with does not. So it needs 10 digits. So you have a choice on how you want to set this up. I have both of them set up here in a flow. One you could do this way, where you're just going to ask for 10 digits. And within here, you're going to make it a reply type number, and you're going to save it in a number. I just called it entered raw, a raw number. So you could do it that way. And so you're going to, like I said, you're going to ask for enter your best number. And this is not using the email from Facebook. And we're going to look at a way to do that. But here, you're just going to enter in 10 digits. And you're going to go on your merry way. Basically, because you are saying reply type number, they can't enter any characters. And it's going to have to be numbers. It has to be 10. So if they enter in more than 10, it's going to come back invalid. Then we're going to have an external request, which is going to do a post to the validate this phone number. And what you can see is if you're in here and you sign into this account, your account, you can go down and you can look at API calls that you want to do. And so this is, let me see where we're doing what we're doing here. There we go. All right. So we were doing, I was going to look at node. So they have a header, they have that, and the body, you have to send some information. So when you're doing this, you're going to run it to, and they do have a staging. Oh, that was the one thing I want to point out here. So, and it only lasts for, I think, 5 requests, something like that, maybe 10. They do have a staging. So if you see this URL right here, it's the app.validito.com/staging/phone validate. If you look at what I have, is I have phone validate, but I don't have staging in it. So you can test your code, I think, for 5 or 10 times, and then it says, then you'll start getting errors. So just be careful with it. But it is a way that you can actually test things. So if you're looking here, production API, staging API. So you can test some stuff just to validate a different way. This is doing a get because you're going to put in all the parameters up on the URL. This is more doing a post. I don't know why they have a get up here because that's really what this is. we're going to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass the UID, the authorized key, and the phone number in the body of the request. So we're going to do a post. So we're going to do a post, and then looking at, and so what you do is I'm going to go look at these samples. And you can see that they want, I write in Node.js, so I can read this and see that here's the URL that you're going to go to. Remember, we were talking about the staging. I took it out because I ran out of my free staging ones on my account, and they started airing out. So I just had to go to the production. And then they have headers. And so what you want to do is you have to take the headers and you have to put them into ManyChat so that you can do these requests. So what you do is you take content. This is going to be the key, because basically this is JSON, a key and a value. So you're going to put content type, and then you're going to copy this over, and you're going to put that in here as a value. And then you're going to take accept, and then you put that in here, and then you're going to take application JSON, and you're going to put that in there. And those are the headers that are required to basically tell when you're talking to the API what you're sending, but also what you're going to accept back. And we're going to accept back JSON because we want to map it to some custom user fields. So we're going to go back here and say now we need to define the body of this post. When you have a post, you can send the parameters in the body. And here we need to send a UID, and we need to send, I don't know why they don't have both. So you need to send a valid, let me see JavaScript. What are they doing here? Those are the headers. Yeah, see, I don't understand why they don't have that in there. But what you have to do, if you go back up here, you can see that phone number validation parameters. This is what you have to pass. You have to pass a UID, you have to pass authority key, and you have to pass the phone. So I'm not sure they had, oh, okay. Okay, they had a UID equals, and then they had an and sign and authority equals. It's there, it's just that they didn't put anything after the equals. So that's the way you're going to do it. And so that's what we're doing here, is we have the UID, the authority key, and then the phone number that we're bringing along. And that is a phone number entered raw. And that would be, with this one, that's what they entered here. Is 10 digits. That's it. No parentheses, no dashes, no extra things. It's all one number, and that's what you have to verify. You have to verify that they sent the number. By putting number here and then the number field, they have to enter numbers, so you're eliminating the characters. Now, if they enter too many, they don't enter 10, they enter or 9 or 11, then it's going to come back invalid. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to look at the body. So the UID, the authorized key, and the phone number. And where you're going to get that is you're going to go up to your dashboard. And account settings probably in there. There you are. So yeah, if you go into up on top, go to account settings, and then you're going to find you have a test staging. So when you're using that URL, you have staging UIDs and authority tokens. And then you have production IDs and authority tokens. And I have my production ones in there. So now I can validate a phone number. All right. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to map out what you get back from the API. So we're going to create some fields, some custom user fields. Let's see what I called them. Hopefully they're all here. All right. So we're going to create a phone status. So you're going to create a phone status, and that's where we're going to put the phone status. It's a text field. And then you're going to create a phone call format. So basically what that is that it's a format. It's the +1 format so that you can actually put it in a call button if you want, or whatever, or you can, you could use it to call them, whatever you want to do, but it's in a format that you can use in a call button, that type of thing, that it'll work. That would be right here, call format. Then you're going to have a phone display. So this is a formatted number. So let's say in this situation, we're taking 10 digits. They're going to send you back a formatted number in the JSON. So that would be right here, a form display. Now a phone display. A phone entered raw is a number field. And that was with this user input field that we're using here, our user input block. And we're going to use a number to come in as raw, as phone entered raw. And that's the number we're going to pass over to the API, all right, to validate. So we're going to map this out. And so how you do this, and let's get some results first, and then we can see, and then I can show you how to do that. So we got all those fields. This field you can create, if you're in there creating them, create this one, a_phone_input. That is going to be something we're going to use in a different way. I'm going to show you how you can actually use this API, but you're going to accept the Facebook phone number that somebody put in Facebook, in the quick reply button, and we're going to convert that so that we can use this API. But we're going to use Zapier to do it. So you're going to have Zapier to do it. That's the only way to do it. Outside of writing in a public API, like I write, I could do all this within Node.js. But I'm trying to show you how you can do it with the outside services out here. I mean, obviously the phone is going to be free up to 200, 500. I don't remember what it is. Oh, 1,000 a month for free. Obviously Zapier is not free. So, all right. So we're going to get back to this. So I need to see what number I have in me. So let's see what number I have in the raw, and we can watch this run here. Okay, 262-502-9473. All right, so we're going to try that. And where are we going here? We're going to test this request. Test request, because we want to get response. All right, so it's a valid phone number. And it was all digits. If you've noticed that, it was all digits, and because it's a number field. But you can see that here's the phone number. So here's a called format. So it's a format which is +1. So you can use it for the call button or the phone, the call button, stuff like that. National format. So now it formatted, put parentheses and all that good stuff. So you could use that to display. And we're going to use that display. And that's it. And then you have status. So we're mapping all those out. So if you're looking at this, and we're going to take this JSON, and we're going to put it in a JSON viewer. All right, I'm going to slap that in there. I'm going to format it. So that's what we're getting back from the API. With the phone number 262-502-9473. It's a landline. It's out of Waukesha, or Waukesha area, city, Menominee Falls. So that's just next to me. It's a phone number I randomly just grabbed. So it was a valid one. I knew it was. And you can see the status. So what we're going to do is we need the map. If you look at this, this is a JSON object of data. It's sent back to us from the API. The higher level is these two brackets here, which is a response. All right. And then it has another JSON object inside of it. So it's really an object inside of an object. So we need to reference the status. So what we're going to do, we're going to use JSON path. And if you click this little question mark, it'll take you to a website that you can learn a little bit more about JSON path and how the formatting goes. You want to look at the $ dot, this part. We're going to close that. We're going to come back here. So $ is the whole object, and the whole response, the JSON response. And then we're going to dig deep into it. So if we're looking for the status, we got to go dot response dot status. And so that's what we're doing. And we're going to get that status out of there, because we have to do this, and then we have to do another dot, because you're going into, the dot means you're going into another object. And so we're going to go to status. And then we're going to map that out to phone status. All right. That text field, I don't know why I did that. The text field that we did. And then we're going to map out phone number. So if we go over here, here's phone number. So now we can have the calling phone number. All right. We have the calling phone number. And we're going to map that out to phone call format, another field that we created. And then last, we're going to map out the formatted phone number, and we can use that in a display or whatever, and that's what we're going to do. And we're going to map that out to phone display. All right. And that's it. So we're going to save that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a condition. So right off this action, you're going to add a condition. So, you're just going to go, you click on that, you're going to add a condition, not an action. Add a condition there, and you're going to fill that out. And put that back connected. And here's a condition. It's going to say a phone status is valid. And as we saw, we did have a valid status. And the only other status that we get from this API is failed. So very consistent, unlike the email verification video that I did last week. The status change, the JSON format changed between a failed and a valid one. This did change too, because it doesn't have the error message in here. But, to be honest, I mean, you could map the error message out if you want on the failed. I'm just going to say, hey, it's invalid, that way. So you're going to check valid. Now, if it's valid, we're going to use the a phone display and tell them that it's a valid phone number. If it's not a valid phone number, we're going to tell them that, and we're going to use another user input. So in this situation, this is the way I'm setting it up. If the condition comes in, it's valid, I'm going to tell them, hey, thanks, we got a valid phone number. I mean, I'm sorry, I have to tell them it's a valid phone number. Just tell them you got it. Thank you. If it's not a valid phone number, what I'm going to do is I am going to actually use a user input block. Kind of looks like a message, but it's a user input block, and just say, hey, you entered an invalid phone number, Jeff. You entered, and then here's the raw number that they entered. Remember, we're asking just for digits here. And I'm just going to say either you need to entered more than 10 digits, or not enough. You didn't enter 10 digits, because you could have entered 9, you could enter 11, or a bad number. All right. And so I'm going to ask them again to enter it. And we're going to looking for a number reply type. and we're going to store it in that raw entered number again. And on that, we're going to circle back from the bottom. So what you want to do is on the bottom, you want to say continue. And we're going to circle back over to this action where we're going to run the validation again on the new phone number they gave us. And we're going to go back through it. All right. So you can see this in action. I need to get the starting step. We're going to go over another scenario where you can use the Facebook phone number that's passed in the quick reply. But so what we're going to do is we're going to run this. I'm going to see what I got in here. We're going to there we go. Let's preview that. Let's open up Messenger. And here we go. So enter your best phone number. So let's just say I entered in numbers and letters. It's going to say, please enter a number using digits only, because we're asking for a number type, a reply. So I'm going to put the other valid number I had. What was that again? Oh, 5029473. All right. So I'm going to enter that number in again. And we got your number 262-502-9473. Thanks, Jeff. So that was valid, which we knew it was. So now that is valid, and it changed this information here. So let's just say I'm going to run this again. And I'm going to put in an invalid one, 262-555-3456. All right. Oh, I guess that's a valid number. Let's try that. All right. I'm hoping that that's not. Oh, I guess it's not going to answer that way. I'm going to run it again. All right, just a second. We're going to run it again, and then we're going to take this number here. And hopefully we get invalid. There we go. It is an invalid number. You've entered an invalid number. Now, this is just not a good number. So we could actually see what it's actually getting back if we go to here and we run test request. You go invalid. There's the phone number. There's the national, because obviously it didn't convert it, and it doesn't have any other information. So that is entering a digits that were wrong. And so now actually I can enter one that's good. Let's just see. Now I didn't blank these fields out, so that might be something that you might want to do as well in the flow. Let's see what's kind of left over. Here we go. Raw phone number here. Call format is that way, but the display is still the old one that we had. A phone input is that invalid status. Now, if we went back and we put in 262-502-9473, and we should get it's valid, and then we should have most of these fields changed. So you could blank them out. You know, the reason I'm just saying that, you could blank them out so you know. So we entered that, we got it displayed, we got that. So, you know, it's all back to that. So it's all working. So let's look at, so say you want them to type in whatever number they want with characters, and you want to use the Facebook phone number. Oh, let's grab this, if I can get this green start guy. Stay over there. So now we're going to look at this. So here we're going to ask for a phone type. And so if we do phone type, that way we're going to bring in the Facebook phone number. All right. And then we're going to actually, remember I told you to create that extra field, that A_phone underscore input. We can't use a raw because that's a number field. This is a text field. And it's going to allow us, just like you're supposed to when you do phone and a text field, then you can get the Facebook phone number to come in. I did say please only enter 10 digits or tap the button below to use the number. So I'm telling them to put 10 digits. You could take that out. You wouldn't have to have the 10 digits. Just say, please tap, enter your best phone number below. You could tap the button if it's a good one, or otherwise enter one. So it depends on what you want to say. And then what I do is on this field, a phone input, I've created a Zap. Now you need Zapier or Integromat, and I didn't do this in Integromat yet. I know you can, and if you guys want to, just let me know in the comments below someplace that, hey, can you do the Integromat, and I'll just do like a little video on it to show you how to do it. But here's the Zap that I am using. So I create a new Zap, and what you want to do is pick ManyChat, pick new or updated custom field. You need the field, have the field created, and put the custom field on your audience or on your subscriber record. All right. Just go in to here. You created that new field. What we call it, A_phone underscore input. And go to you and go all the way down to the bottom and hit show all. All right. By doing that, all of the fields, all the custom fields that you have set up, this is my test account. So I have many, 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 many custom fields. But you can see here's ones that aren't set. So by pushing that button on the bottom, you'll get all your fields. So you created that a phone input. So we're going to go up to a phone input, and I already have something in it. Just put a number in it. You just put whatever number you want in it, so that when you're setting the Zap up, it's new or updated custom field. Well, it'll be marked as a custom field. An updated custom field. So do that so it can pull the information from pulling you in. So click that, hit continue, hook it up to your account. I always run tests to make sure that it's active and it's working. And then you go to the next part is you're going to pick the custom field and go out and find A_phone underscore input or whatever you're using as the name to input this version of problem updating node. I just want to continue. I really don't care if you update it. It was all working before. Not sure what that was all about. Hopefully it'll still be working. I'm going to turn this off. And then it's going to say you need to add an action. It's going to say that right here. So you want to add an action. All right. That would be, or if you go over here, you can hit action right like that. All right. I don't want to add an action. I'm going to act like I'm going to, and then I'm going to delete it. What you want to do is you want to add an action. Oh, I should just do that. Never mind. You want to add an action. This is going to be your second one here. And what you're going to do is you're going to do code by, well, Jeff. There you go. Code by Zapier. You're going to pick that. All right. And I'm going to delete this because I'm going to go up to this one. So code by Zapier. You're going to do run JavaScript. You're going to do continue. And then in here, we're going to bring that phone number in. So what you want to do is input data. I want you to put phone. And then you're going to search for the first part. And, your first step, basically it's right here, your ManyChat. First step, and then take field value. because it's the value of the updated custom field. So you're going to pick field value. We don't need two of them. And then you're going to do this code. All right. You're going to do VAR space phone number equals, and then here's a key where the phone is. You need input data, capital D, dot phone. That's referencing this. The input data means this, and then you're referencing this field that you're bringing in. And then you're going to do replace, and then it's going to go, it's a reg, I forgot what it's called. It's basically going to go through, and it's going to get rid of all the characters. All right. You're going to end up with digits. The thing is that the number that comes from Facebook has a +1. So what happens is the plus gets stripped off, but then we have too many digits because we don't want a 1, 262, 555, 5555. We want just 262, 555, 5555. All right. 10 digits, not 11. So what we have to do is we have to check the first occurrence. Now, I know this is kind of crazy, but in JavaScript, a lot of times an array or within a field, 0 is, and it's actually just checking the first digit is 0, not 1. So we're going to check the first digit. In here, it's actually checked in an array. It's always 0 is the first occurrence, equals 1, which it would be. We're going to substring. We're basically going to say we want phone number, which that's where we put this in here. We want phone number starting at position 1, not 0, and we want it placed back into there. So what it is basically you're stripping the 1 off. And then we're going to return that. We're going to return it to the process, to the Zap, as phone number digits. All right. So we have 10 digits. Exactly what we did, what we are asking them to enter, but now we're doing it for them because we're going to allow them to put characters in. All right. And we're just going to continue. And then you're going to add one more step. All right. You're going to do a plus sign or whatever is there. You're going to add one more step. And that step is going to be set a custom field in ManyChat. You can pick ManyChat, and you're going to do, I think you have to push that to get to set custom field. All right. And then we're going to hook up to your account. And what we're going to do is we want to update the subscribers, one of the subscribers fields, this phone entered raw. So what you want to do here is user. You want to scroll past all the users and go to use custom value, advanced. Click on that and then go in here and go to step 1 and find the user ID right here. And we want 2 again. So we want 1. And then the custom field is, you're going to do a drop down. You're going to go find the custom field, phone underscore entered underscore raw. Now remember when we went through the other flow where we're asking them to enter in 10 digits? That's where we're going to put it because then we can process this thing the same way. All right. It's just an added step to do the Zap to get this number formatted so we can continue on. And here's the value. So it basically took, let's see, it took the field here. If you go into you can see the field was +1 262 844 8484. If we go into here, we don't know what the field looked like, but it took the results, because basically what we're doing is, so we're going to tell it to put it to enter raw. And then what we did is we went to the JavaScript, step 2, to get the phone number digits. All right. We don't need 2, but the phone number digits. So we went and got that from step 2 to update the value in ManyChat. So we're going to go continue, and we're going to say finish, and we're going to turn it on. All right. So we got it on. There we go. So now we're going to go back here, and I think I passed the green guy. Yeah, I got that. So now what we're going to do is out of this, and this is a user input field, just like we did last time, except we're going to do phone type or phone reply type, and then we're going to put it in the phone input. We're going to do a continued on the bottom, and then we're going to put just a message saying, thanks, Jeff. What I'm doing is I'm delaying. And then I put a delay, and I took off the typing, all right, for 3 seconds. And then I just put a blank, basically another message, because I have to have something after the delay block. So I just put a message block with a space in it, right? And that kind of fools the system to say, oh, that's valid, fools kind of ManyChat system, but it just doesn't send it, all right? The user doesn't get the blank, but it's a way to get the delay in here. What I'm doing with this, and then you hit continue another step. What I'm doing with this is delaying it because what happened is I need Zapier to convert that number. And it doesn't get done in time before I call the API to validate the number after it's entered, and it does that zap unless I put this in there. If I went directly from the user input block to this API, it doesn't have the new number, or it may not have a number at all if somebody hasn't entered anything. So I've tested this and it didn't work. So all I'm doing is putting some message in there just to delay it a little bit to get Zapier enough time to get it done. All right. You have to play around with that because I have a super duper Zapier account that I have. I think I have instant. So if you have a lower count, just, it might be 5 minutes, might be 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Oh, 15 seconds. I don't remember. Let me see here. If I make a zap, it doesn't really say that. All right. I don't remember where I saw that. But I know it's with, just make sure that you're allowing enough time. Most apps run pretty quick no matter what plan you have. But just make sure that it's running and you're delaying enough. I mean, obviously you don't want to delay for a minute and come back and say, hey, you entered an invalid phone number a minute later. Just watch that. But I do put a little delay in there so that I can get the zap. I mean, granted, you could use the other flow where you just tell them to put 10 digits in, boom, you're done. This is just going to allow you to do the Facebook phone number and validate it. So in the API, it's all the same. We're going to use a post. We're going to use this. Here's the headers. Same header setup, key and value. Body, same thing. And actually this field is the entered raw one because Zapier put it in there. So we're all set. And then the mapping is the same. You have status, you have call format, you have display. All the same. And then these other, we got your number as this, display, same message, and then, hey, it's invalid phone number, please enter a new phone number. And actually this one I left at number. And, oh, actually, we don't want that in there. We want that. So do we want to trigger? And we're going back to this. You could do two things here. You could tell them, well, it depends on if you're allowing them to put characters in. I put number, and even though it's going to a text field, that's fine because they're just going to put numbers in. I mean, you could change this to text that way. Or you could do phone, but then it's going to bring in the Facebook phone number again, and you don't want to do that. So you might want to do text in here, and then just put it here, and this will trigger the zap again, and then it'll format it. Or you could do numbers, and then they can only enter in numbers this time. So it's up to you how you want to do that. I'm just going to hit their publish, and I can run this. So let's see what we get here. Okay, so now I'm getting this phone number 262-844-8484. And let's see what we have in here in my records. I think we should have the other number. The 502, yep, 502-9473. So that's what we have in here. So let's do that. Let's accept this. And then now we're doing that delay. Now it's calling the API. And we got your number, 262-844-8484. So it's valid. And so let's go look at my record here. See what I have. Let's see, a phone. Okay, so we entered, I think we entered here, right here, 1-262-844-8484, and it's a plus. So that's what came in the, right there. So it came in there. And then we sent it to Zapier, and here's the raw. So it stripped all the stuff off. Then it came back, and once the API was done, it put the formatted one so we could do a call button, and here's the display, which that's what we displayed right there, and so it's all formatted. So it's working. And we can go look at Zapier and look at the task history. And there we are, 20th today. We just ran it, and so it ran. And it's active all the time. So let's see. I think we got everything covered here. So that's how it works. So you can choose to have them in 10 digits, or you can have them, use the Facebook phone number, or you can have them type it in. However you want to do it, you can still use this API and use this process. Only if you are going to allow them to put in characters, then you need Zapier or Integromat. If you want Integromat, I can figure that out and put a little video out for that too. So let me know. On the other note, and this is for US and Canada. On the other note, here is that other API. It looks very similar. And here's a call format. It doesn't format it with the parentheses and stuff. It doesn't do that fancy little thing. So, plans, you have to have a paid version in order to have this. So HTTP. So I can show you what happens here. So if you go in here and you take the HTTP off, ManyChat does not like that. Here, right there, invalid URL. Right there. You have to have the S in it to have it valid. All right. And the free version on this one right here gives you that. Well, that concludes our video for today on how to validate phone numbers your ManyChat subscribers are providing to you. We looked at how we could use a couple different APIs. One is basically only for US and Canada, but we looked at we could have them enter 10 digits, or we could have them use the Facebook phone number. You need to use Zapier to convert it to 10 digits, but we can pass it to the API and see if it's valid or not. And then let your ManyChat subscriber know if it is valid or not. There is another API that does international. Take a look at it. If you need any help, let me know. If you have any questions or comments on any of this, please post it down below. I'd be happy to answer them. And as always, like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Click the little bell so you do get notification when I upload a new video. Down in the description, I do have a great link to a great Facebook group, all like-minded people sharing things. Come on and join us. And as always, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.